Chuck Worley with the 757 House Whisperers Show, coming to you every Wednesday night from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. I got my good buddy, Mr. Ronnie Wolf, with me tonight. We are going to be talking something about plumbing. My man, to say his family is of a family of plumbers is to say an understatement. So his daddy was a plumber. His brother's a plumber. Ronnie Wolf is a plumber. So you got plumbing in your veins.
We do. We've been all around. Even my mom ran the office.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So I am Chuck Worley. I'm the founder and host of the show, the 757 House Whisperer. I'm going to introduce all of my co-hosts. We have Michael Davenport with CVP Windows and Doors. Him and his partner, Barry Taylor, have been in business for, he's 70. He's the longest one. He has the longest tooth of all of the co-hosts. So my buddy, Mr. Michael Davenport. We got Albin with Albin Co. Remodeling, anything construction. He is the guy you want to call. We have referred him to several friends and clients that he has done a great job for. And here's the thing. If you don't do a great job and I refer you, I'm not going to ever refer you again. So I take it very seriously, the people that I surround myself. One of the secrets of Chuck Worley's success is he surrounds himself with people smarter than he is, which is really, if you know him, is really not that difficult. But smarter and character and integrity, those are my rules for and anybody that knows my wife knows all of that is accurate. So
that is true.
She is a lot smarter. So anyway, so we got Cindy Raw. She owns Alpha Pest Solutions, and she is the only woman with that that has a license to kill. Is that the best tagline ever? It really is. And then Jack Keller with Legacy Painting. He is doing kind of any small sheetrock repairs. He's not doing big sheetrock jobs or anything, but you step through a ceiling or, kick a wall or slam a door, and he can fix that. And he does a great job painting. So most of our service area, for the most part, is the 757. That is our area code. We like to kind of keep it local. I mean, I wasn't born here, but I definitely was raised here. I've been here since 6th grade. I've grew up. I went to St. Pius and Norfolk Catholic, and then ended up, I even failed out of Norfolk State, and then went to the apprentice school. So I got onto the peninsula, and that's where my babies were raised, in Tab in Yorktown, Virginia. But all of us have a local story. We don't have a lot of big franchises and stuff like this. These are all local companies that have been supported by our local economy. And this 757 House Whisperer show is kind of a collage. I've been on and off the radio for over 20 years. I have really just thought of a way to give back to our area. This is a DIYer's favorite show, telling you how to fix stuff yourself, do-it-yourselfers, and really just investing back into our friends and family and customers in the 757, helping you to figure out your house. Your house is a system. It all goes and works together. Why is that important? Well, you don't want to fix one thing and mess up something else in your house. You want to kind of, hey, if I'm going to do this, why don't I do this first? And I thought of the best way to explain that is you don't, I'll give you an example. You don't want to change out the insulation in your attic and then put in a ridge vent for your new roof, because you're going to cut the ridge vent open on the top of your roof and put that brand new beautiful roof on, and all that sawdust is going to be laying on your brand new insulation in your attic, right? So that the house works as a system. So if we're fixing up our houses or doing things in our houses, wouldn't you like to talk to somebody? I call myself a building science geek. There's not much about houses that I haven't figured out or fixed or helped somebody fix. I like to give back to this area, and how we're doing that is offering up a free show to the 757 listeners on how to fix your houses. Remember, when you guys call in and ask questions, not only are you helping yourself, but you are literally helping thousands of listeners with very similar questions. Who doesn't have a question about their house? I mean, there are so many problems with these houses. We have houses that are literally over 100 years old, talking kind of like the Norfolk area or Hilton Village on the peninsula.
The Hampton House.
I mean, there's some some old houses down in Wythe. And then we got these brand new houses, these Taj Mahals that are being built now, which have a whole nother spectrum of problems because of the way that they're built. I mean, houses are built a lot tighter now than what they used to be, which causes, more issues that we didn't have. I call the older houses kind of wind tunnels. Y'all have heard me talk about my remodel that I did with Albin last year on my 1936 farmhouse. And you couldn't have candles in my house because the wind blew so fast through my house that candles would get blown out. Like there was so much. I mean, I might as well just had windows open. There was so much air blowing through my house, At one time, now this is funny, not funny to me because I had to pay the bill, literally had $530 electric bills on a 1,500 square foot house. How is that possible? First off, I had my nephew and niece living with me that just, they didn't pay the utility bills. They did pay rent, but they didn't pay utility bills. And then, and then me and Julie were kind of coming in and out and it was a lot of people in the house. And then Pop, my dad, which y'all have heard me talk about my dad, he was living in the 2-car garage that we built out for him. My mom passed away a couple of years ago. So I got my nephew, my niece, I got my dad living there, but it's only 1,500 square foot and I got a $500 electric bill. That is ridiculous. Most of that was because the air conditioner never shut off. It just never shut off because the air conditioning and the heat never stayed in the house. The house is so loose, which is these older houses are so loose. That's why spray foam is a very, very great thing to add to the house. And that changed my life because now my bill is $120 a month. Of course, Pop, niece, and nephew are no longer there. My new wife, Miss Julie Bartley, is there. I guess I should say Julie Bartley Worley, right? So
gotta get it right.
Yeah. So it's a lot tighter of a house. So I love talking about spray foam. I love talking about making houses more energy efficient. There's just so much about houses, new houses to the older houses. Everybody has a problem with their house, whether they know it or not. Some people call us about problems in their house. To us, me or Ronnie or Big Mike would come out, Blythe, and come out and look at the house, and this problem that you guys are telling us about is actually a symptom of a bigger problem. My best example of that, and I know Ronnie's been in this situation, is a customer calls me up. Gosh, this must have been 7-8 years ago. Calls me up, and he's got 66 inches of water underneath his house. So I go there, and I'm looking around the house, and I'm like, he goes, you want to go under there? I'm like, no, you need sump pumps. Like, I don't need to do the backstroke. I literally could not get in. It was like 6 inches of water underneath his house. And he's like, yeah, I got like 10 prices for new sump pumps. So I'm looking at the house and I'm a building science geek. So I'm kind of looking at everything. And I look at the house and I'm like, bro, have you ever thought about gutters? And he's like, why are we talking about gutters? I got 10 prices for new sump pumps underneath the house. And I said, well, but you have new gutters and your vents for your foundation vents are literally a half inch above the ground level of outside. So every time it rains, water is going into your crawl space. He goes, well, I never thought about that. And I said, well, the 10 guys trying to sell you new sump pumps didn't care. I at least cared enough to look around. So your water underneath, you may 1,000,000% need sump pumps under your house. I mean, 6 inches of water, that is a lot of water. So we may need sump pumps. But why don't we put gutters on the house first? And then let's come back and get the water away from the house. And then let's come back and figure out if you even need sump pumps. Sure enough, 18 months later, he calls me. I come back out there. There's like an inch of water in this crawl space. He goes, Chuck, just tell me what I need to do to the crawl space. He said, I'm not calling anybody else back. You're the only guy I'm calling. Tell me what I need in my crawl space and I'll do it. Sure enough, we look at, he's got brand new gutters under his house, on his house. So the house is a system. So when you're just not looking at everything, my dad's famous quote, and something I know you guys, I've told you guys this a lot. My dad was a Navy CB in a construction battalion in the Navy. He was a retired senior chief. He said, any man armed with a hammer treats everything as a nail. Now, what's that mean? When you call an insulation guy, he's going to save the world with his insulation. You call a duct guy, he's going to come in and say, the way we're going to fix all this is you're going to have brand new ductwork. You call an AC guy, he's going to fix the world with AC. You call a sheetrock guy, same thing, right? Everybody. So with us at Worley's Home Services, we have a tool belt. We got it all. We don't have to sell you anything. So that allows us to sit back and say, hey, what is the problem? If it's not us, if you need a roof with ventilation in your attic because your attic's 1,000 degrees or your soffit's not cut open, we're going to tell you about that. Well, yeah, your attic is 1,000 degrees because you got no ventilation in your attic. Insulation is not going to help that. Kind of looking at your house as a system, I think is the best way, which is why we came up with the 757 House Whisperer, where we have actual specialists that I can send you to that. And we're not just out here trying to sell you stuff. We're here to educate you first, tell you what the problems are in your specific house, because every house is different. I've seen houses side by side with two like symptoms and problems that the other one doesn't have. Like one has got moisture issues. One's dry as a bone. They're the same house side by side, 10 years old. It's the craziest thing. You've seen that.
Yeah, my last customer today, I go out to quote her on a couple different things, and I said, how did you hear about Worley's? And her exact response was, my dad said you came out and gave him information on every single thing that he wanted to know pertaining to his house and didn't try to sell him anything. And I said, that's half the reason I'm here is because I get to go out and figure out what is causing the issue. Why do you have the water in the crawl space? Why is the crawl space have so much humidity? Why do you need insulation? And we're able to give you multiple things.
Or not need insulation.
Exactly right. Or not need encapsulated and so on and so forth. So people love that, and we all approach it that way, and it's a magical thing.
I think it is. I am very excited to be able to get back to our area and help people and educate them on their houses. And, we've been doing it. I mean, Ronnie's been doing it for years now, that one-on-one, you're helping somebody, right? You're like, they got a problem. I'm the only guy out here that's even told them what their problem is. They've had 5 guys out here. They're telling all the problems, which might even be a symptom of another problem that they haven't even thought of. So we're helping people one-on-one. With the radio. When people call in and they're asking these questions and stuff about their house, we're able to help thousands of listeners.
Seriously.
I mean, it's I don't know. I just think it's a cool concept.
It really is
to
really
help
is.
people. So I did have some kind of stuff I wanted to talk to you guys about, kind of DIY or low cost fixes for families, protecting yourself against some things that can happen in the house. So one thing that it's starting to get cold. It's starting to get cold. So
be here before we know it.
Yeah. It's going to be really cold here shortly. Right. So when you go out of town during the winter time, one of the things as far as like safety tips that I want to offer you guys are, when you go out of town, some people do it a lot in the summer where they're like, I'll just cut my air conditioner off while I'm out of town. Well, that's great. So 2 weeks, you're out of town, 10 days, you're out of town, and there's no humidity control inside your house. And you come home and there's, every wall in your house has mold and mildew on it, right? Because the humidity, everybody thinks we're trying to control temperature in the air conditioning business. We are actually trying to control humidity, because a fat man sweating is the problem we're trying to solve, right? Chubby guy sweating like me, right? So get rid of the humidity and the temperature will work itself out, right? So when you go out of town, please never, ever. I mean, people do it in rooms over garages. They'll just cut the AC off up there or cut the window unit off. That's great. Saves you utility bills, but you will have mold everywhere. During the wintertime, I think most people, I'd say 85% of the people, don't turn their heat off when they go out of town. They do turn it down. I almost said up. So
I had to think about
that. I've literally been doing air conditioning longer than you've been alive, and I almost said turn it up, right? So turn it down to 50, 60, 55. And really, we have zero chance of something freeze until it hits the old 32 mark, right? So 32 degrees Fahrenheit, we start pipes breaking, water breaking, pipes breaking. Those are all bad things.
We want to avoid that as best as possible.
Yeah. So turning your stat down to 59 is not really a big problem. Now, of course, if you have an animal in the house, you might want to, if you like your animal, So Julie, I sometimes we have a cat that thinks he's a dog. So he literally runs to you and jumps in your lap when you come back. Like, he thinks he's a dog. He's the coolest cat ever. And I highly dislike cats, and they know it. So they jump in your lap, right? So every cat knows. But My cat, yeah, I love my cat. He's most days I love my cat, right? So not in the middle of the night when I wake up and he's licking my face and sleeping on my chest. Like he's not spoiled at all. So, but yeah, so 65, they have fur, so you don't have to keep it,
Keep them comfortable.
yeah, keep them comfortable, right? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so that kind of led us into, freezing. So what kind of plumbing tips do we have? People maybe going out of town, or even plumbing tips in general.
I think the most common when it comes to freezing would be to just keep a faucet dripping. Any circulation in the water that we can keep going without running the bill to a couple $100 is tremendous. But you never will see a creek that is frozen because it constantly has movement. So if we have water
That
movement,
is a good
we have
way to, yeah.
yeah, I think of these things to try to help people out, but it's just the truth. It's not overcomplicating things, just keeping water movement, and that's probably the biggest thing when it comes to the wintertime. We keep water movement. We won't have freezing pipes. Now, mind you, there's still a chance, but it eliminates the chance by a great amount. Definitely by a great amount.
Yeah, that's we do not want frozen pipes. We have seen some nightmares of
For sure, for sure. And
and
then
really it's the frozen part is not the problem. It's when it
the
unfreezes.
unfreezing. Yes,
It's,
it is. It
some
is.
people don't even realize that the pipe breaks when it's frozen. That's not when everything goes south, right?
Exactly right,
Because
yeah.
it's frozen. It's the day after the freeze when it all starts melting.
That's
And
exactly right. And I hate having to break everyone's heart when we come out to the house and they're like, "Oh, I have no water. My pipes are frozen." Get in line, just like everyone else.
Yeah.
There's no fix to it. So
Yeah.
we have to keep water moving. That's the key to it. We cannot magically unthaw the pipes.
Yeah, no, you can't unthaw pipes, and water goes everywhere when that happens.
For
If
sure.
there's because when it freezes, it expands,
Exactly.
and that's what pops holes in the plumbing pipes,
Exactly.
which is bad. So, you got any other tips for them?
Outside of, cold, I'm getting real big on yearly or bi-yearly whole house pressure test.
You're
Every
talking about gas
gas
lines?
pressure test. Yeah, every other house that I go to has an entire gas system with gas lines running underneath the home and through the home and up to the attic. And you never hear people staying proactive on their gas pressure tests. So, another safety thing is having a company come out every 2-3 years and doing a full pressure test on the gas system just to kind of make sure that there's no leaks and everyone in the house is safe. And if there's anything starting to leak and
How many 10-year-old gas lines have you ever seen that were not rusted?
oh man, we see them all the time, and the amount of people that I go to that have full gas leaks inside of their home, inside of their crawl space, inside of their attic, and I always hear that, oh well, it's smelled like that for a while,
Ugh.
or so
So,
many.
explain the smell.
So the smell, a lot of people say, oh, I smell gas. No, you do not smell gas.
Because gas is smellless, odorless.
It is.
Odorless. Yeah,
Yeah,
odorless is the
exactly
word.
right.
Yeah.
If you smell that, you need to call Worley's Home Services and have us come out and take a look.
What's it smell like? What's
Like a rotten egg
like
smell.
a sulfur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Like
they
a
put
sulfur.
that in the gas system so when you have a leak. Hey, I smell it. I need to call somebody. But we could also just be proactive and do the
Or you
pressure
could be
test.
just hanging out with someone with flatulence.
You
And,
could.
it could,
You could.
you're
You definitely could. You could be spending a weekend with Chuck.
Ah!
That's definitely possible.
Yeah, poor Julie. Right. So the older you get, I'm not sure it gets better as age goes.
No,
So,
but that's one of the main things that concerns me is I see all these gas lines all the time and nobody stays proactive on it. So a good safety tip would be to make sure you're getting your pressure test and getting these lines checked out.
and I tell people when they're getting, and most cities kind of require it now. Of course, not everybody, we pull permits on
Yes.
everything. So not all companies are made the same. So,
Yeah.
but a lot of cities will make you, if you're adding a gas line to your gas grill, or you're out to because we just did that at our place. That is wonderful. I don't have to carry bottles around anymore. That is money, right? So, never have to, because, it never fails. You go out and you're like, hey, you got people coming over, you're like cooking, you're like, son of a biscuit.
Yep.
Daggone it. I forgot to pick up the propane on the way home. So,
Or the worst, you're in the middle of cooking the burgers and the propane runs out.
yeah, you're like, oh man, I did that actually this summer, but I had another one in the barn, so thank God. So, but yeah, that's a little embarrassing. But it's
Where's the
hope
closest
you weren't hungry. Hope you weren't hungry. But yeah, so you want to add a gas grill, or really the big ones are, of course, gas furnace. You have dryer, you have a stove, you have a water heater, and did I miss one?
Those are pretty much
right. Yeah. So those are the big five when it comes to gas lines. So like if you want to buy a dryer and go to gas and get out of recovery and heat, your clothes. When you run that one gas line, you already have fireplace. You already have gas going to the house. Some cities will make you just pull everything offline and pressure test the entire gas line, which I kind of think is a great idea.
I love it.
While you have it open to test that.
Absolutely.
So I am Chuck Worley with Worley's Home Services. This is old Ronnie Wolf. He has been with us for
August will be my fifth year.
5 years, man. That's amazing. This is so Mike Davenport with CVP Windows and Doors, and then Albin with Albin Co. Remodeling Homes and New Construction. Cindy Raw with Alpha Pest Solutions, and then Jack Keller with Legacy Painting. So that is our group. Thank you guys for joining our show. Please tune in to 757housewhisperer.com. You can listen to the shows on Spotify. You can listen to all of our past shows that we really enjoy bringing to you. But it's our number to the show is 757-955-9415. So thank you guys again for joining our show.